Everyone, Magic Flying Potato here, and I'm going to go ahead and just briefly cover some of the notes for the Into the Wood public release. Not much has changed in the notes for the public test going into the public release, so I'm just going to hit on a few things that I find important for a player to know going into the Into the Wood update. Of course, everyone knows that there are 3 new biomes in there. There is the barbecue spill, which is very sizzly, so be sure to wear specific armor for that zone. You've got the new termite dungeon, so you got to deal with the little these little termites and a termite king that's deeper inside. And as of right now, there's the porch, which actually has 2 different areas to explore. You got the upper porch, and then there's 3 different zones underneath the porch for you to explore as well. So along with the 3 new biomes, there is also a bunch of new crafting content and building updates within this update. One of the new features is the PEEP update, where you could kind of zoom in with your hands. Kind of like when we were kids, you say, you look at your binoculars. That's what they're doing right here. And you can also mark locations by using this and unmark the location as well. The resource surveying stations, once you power them on, there's a key, and I'm not going to give you a spoiler, but it's one of the first few labs that you have to go into where you flip a switch and it says turning power on. So I'm not going to give you a spoiler, but if you don't turn the power on at one of those labs, you're not going to be able to use the resource stations because the resource stations need to be powered on. Once you have turned the power on for the resource surveyor, you're going to be able to locate items in the backyard as long as you have researched the specific item. If you have not researched it yet, you will not be able to use the resource surveyor to try to discover it. You got to find it, you got to analyze it, and then it will unlock in the resource surveyor. So as you can see right here, they have added new bugs into the game, or maybe reskin bugs. You've got the scarab, which is a bug that is very elusive and hard to catch, so you got to learn how to catch this guy before he disappears on you. You got the green stink bug, the ladybird beetle, the ladybird larva, the termite, the lint mite, the brown ox beetle, the soldier termite, and a couple of other ones that are out there. And if you look right here, explore new areas and a few old ones to discover a few more new bugs that they have added into the game. Right here is the patch notes for the update. The new crafting content, which is a tier 3 termite axe, the black ox hammer, termite chest armor only right now, splinter arrows, which are tier 3, a new secret weapon, which is a sword, new sets of base floors, which come from the burrweed, and 2 new meals. Of course, the new features, the survey stations, I've covered that. Custom game options, I will link this right above here somewhere. Just something to be aware of when you do a custom game setting. I talk about that in this video. Build customization, you have the bounce webs that have adjustable height and adjustable angles. You have all your lights that now have a brightness slider for intensity and also color changer on them. Armor dummies that can be posed. The improved data page, which your data page now is separated into multiple categories to make things easier to find and locate. The status effect display displays in 2 different areas. It displays inside your inventory page on your status page where you set your mutations and stuff. And it also appears right below your scab. So when you're fighting or when you have different effects going on, it will appear underneath your scab. Additional features, which are new languages, Turkish, Thai, or Arabic, and Japanese. The craft mini button, so instead of just crafting one at a time, you have the option of crafting a lot at a time. The storage hot deposit option, I love that feature where you're able to just dump all the items from your backpack into your storage chest as long as those same items are in your storage chest. If you have a specific item in your backpack that is not in your storage chest, it will not dump. Make sure you have at least one item in your storage chest that's in your backpack or it will not dump. There are 8 new achievements, so if you log in, you should see achievements popping up if you have completed them. If not, then they won't pop up until you complete them. So some of the changes and tunings right here. So if you die with a bow equipped, now when you respawn, you will also respawn with arrows. Prior to this, if you died with a bow in your hand, you respawn with a bow only, with no way to fight with it because you didn't have arrows. Now they're putting a stack of arrows into your inventory as well to give you a fighting chance to get your backpack back. You can now rest any time of the day. You will rest for 8 hours and will not be able to rest again until you have been awake long enough to rest again. So something to just be aware of. If you rest like noon, you're going to wake up at night and you will not be able to go back to sleep until you've been awake long enough to go back to sleep again. And it will tell you when you click on your lean-to or your bed that you still have so many hours left before you go to, before you are able to go back to sleep. Mutations. This is key for knowing what the changes for a couple of these mutations are. Blademaster no longer repairs the durability of swords. It now reduces the stamina cost of the next several attacks when procced. So what that is, they have changed the way combat is being done. They do now have a 3 combo hit. This is where this Blademaster option mutation comes into play. So just be aware that the Blademaster has changed, as well as the Javelineer. The Javelineer no longer slows enemy. It now reduces enemy damage resist when procced. So just 2 of the changes for mutations to make them more combat related. Combat. Here is a huge change to the way combat is done in the game. So right here, weapons now deal progressively more damage with each hit combo sequence. The first attack of weapon combo does the least amount of damage. Combo finishers deal the most amount of damage. The overall DPS of a full combo is the same though. So what that is saying right here, specifically instead of a 3-hit combo doing 100, 100, 100 like it used to, it is now changed to it will deal 50, which is the lowest amount of damage. The next hit in the combo, the second hit, will do 100, and then the third hit will do 150. So that is something to be aware of when you are fighting. Hammers now have a 3-hit combo to utilize the above combo changes. You will definitely see that when getting resources with your hammer. All weapon types have a damage curve pass to make sure that they're all in line with each other. So they have buffed and nerfed different weapons to give them a kind of a level playing field for all the weapons. Shields will no longer slow down your movement when you're blocking. Reduce the movement penalty for moving backwards. Crow arrows now apply a bleed damage over time. So when you're using the crow feather arrow, it will apply a bleed to whatever you hit with it. And a fall damage no longer affects durability in any way. .1. That's a typo. The building and health repair tool. So the old way, the repair tool, if you equipped it, you used to put it in your hand, you used to see the little repair wrench over items in your base or something that needed to be repaired. Now it has a red glowing outline. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but that has changed, and you just hold down your attack button to repair the item until it's fully repaired. Then you just let go. You don't have to keep hitting your attack button to repair items. So some of the new updates in the interface, players can now place temporary waypoints on the map. Dropped items and arrow icons become less visible if the player is in combat. So when you're in combat and you're spamming the arrows or something like that, the little icons showing what item is being thrown or used, such as arrows, will not like clutter your screen display while you're in combat. The oven, spinning wheel, and grinder will now have an icon over them when they're finished and they're ready to be collected out of them. They also have a quick take all action, and you can take everything out of it without needing to go in. And they also have area crafting. Weapon upgrades right here. Weapons can now be upgraded to +9, +8, and 9 require a new material to make a new type of glob. Damage and durability increase per level up has been reduced across the board. Upgraded weapons will now require additional resources to repair. Globs now cost 20% less shards to craft, 1 less for candy, 2 less for quartzite and salt. There is a new interface for building, so if you go into your building tab, you will notice that there are less cards across the top for building. They have placed like items all in the same tab. you go into your building tab and you will see that all like items are grouped in the same category. So like if you're trying to build a wall, you have the grass wall, the reinforced grass wall, the wood stem wall, the mushroom wall. They are all on the same tab, and you just have these little icons on below, so you can scroll left or right to select the one you want instead of trying to find it on the different tabs. It's done to make it easier to find the specific pieces you are looking for. Again, with the spinning wheel and grinder, they do pull items from nearby storage now. So again, area crafting for the spinning wheel and grinder. Sickly roly-polies no longer drop sickly parts. Recipes have been adjusted to not require these, not no require these. So the crusty roly-poly armor, or the old roly-poly armor that we were able to make, we are no longer able to make. There is crusty roly-poly armor right here, no longer craftable, but the complete set can be found out there somewhere in the world. Maybe I can link that up here. So Antlion armor is no longer considered medium armor, plus 25 to 50% durability for all weapons to compensate for the higher repair costs. So the durability of weapons have been increased because so has the repair cost. And pretty much that is most of the important stuff. I will go ahead and link this page right here in case you just want to go in and look over anything that I may have not covered. Again, a lot of this is the same information that we were given during the public test. Not much has been changed for what has been offered to us since the public test. So if any new updates come out, I will put them out as quick as I can. And as always, you guys have a great time out there exploring your backyards. I am Magic Flying Potato, and I am out.